Hello everybody, this is Comic Book Hangover with my first haul video of 2021. Now I know there's a lot of, as I'm doing this, there's a lot of insanity, a lot of chaos going on, so at least for the next couple of minutes, let's forget all that. Let's talk about comic books, and at the end of the video I will have something kind of important to say. It has really nothing to do about comic books. It's about something going on in my personal life right now. That may affect my comic book buying and my ability to do the videos. I'm going to try to not let it impact anything, but I feel like I should let everybody know what's going on in my life so it'll make some sense if I miss a week or two doing videos. But I'm going to try to keep my regular schedule. That aside, also want to thank my new subscribers. For some reason, for some reason, YouTube is not giving me names of my new subscribers now. So I don't know if it's just, I don't know how YouTube makes that distinction as to whether or not it's going to let me know or not let me know. But I've gotten another couple of subscribers over the past week. So whoever you are, and you know who you are, if you're watching this, thank you very much. I wish YouTube would let me know your names and if you've got channels, so I can link to the channels. If you do, in the comment section down below, let me know. Say hey, link to your channel. If it's got comic book stuff on it, I'm definitely going to check it out, and more than likely I will enjoy it. So that said, as we try to take a break from the insanity that is happening, let's talk some comic books. So last week, the last year of 2020, which the insanity was supposed to end in 2020, but apparently it's leaking over a little bit. I picked up a handful of books. There's only a couple of them that I felt were really worth kind of mentioning, and this one will be kind of a quick one. This is I Walk with Monsters #2. This is a very well written, well drawn book. I really do enjoy the art on here. I need to get the names of Caterino artist on there. Really good art, and again, really well written. It is still a dark story, and this one here, we're getting a little bit closer to the mystery of what happened to this gal's brother years ago. So this is definitely a book if you like stuff like Something Is Killing the Children and don't think that that's dark enough for you, this might be something worth checking out. It's only on issue 2. Issue 1 should be easily obtained still. So, but it was good. It was a fun read. There was 2 covers for it. It took me a second or two to decide what cover I really wanted, but this is the one that really stuck out to me. So this is the one that I grabbed. The other one I got last week was Batman Annual. They put numbers. This is Batman Annual number 5, and I never understood why they do issue numbers on annuals. It should just be a year. So this is the 2020 Batman Annual. The origin of Clown Hunter, and if you're like me and you actually have enjoyed this character in the few appearances that he's made, this is the issue to pick up. This explains in more detail what happened and how Bao became Clown Hunter and the evolution of that of him becoming this terror of clowns. This is also, I have to say, this is also how you do an origin issue for a character. That Punchline one-shot was not how you do an origin issue. Actually, it kind of made me lose a little bit of interest in the character, because it was just, it really was not a very good origin issue. This, though, this is how it should be done. So I would be okay if they did another Punchline one-shot and redid her origin, as maybe have the same origin, but just have the story written better. And not so much of all this idiotic social media and protesting crap that they had in there. Because I'm honestly sick of all that nonsense. But this is it. This is a great issue. Well written art. I'm going to mispronounce Stokoi. I'm probably mispronouncing his name, but he did a Godzilla, the 100 Years War years ago for IDW, and it was amazing. And his art in here is equally amazing. It's great. I mean, it took me a while to actually kind of read this book, because just like with the Godzilla book that he did, I was looking at each and every panel, because each and every panel is its own unique piece of art and does tell a full story. It's great. Especially one of my favorite panels is when they're once again redoing the origin of Batman. When Thomas Wayne is getting shot, it's a side view, so you see the shooter and then you see Thomas Wayne and the bullet going through him, and as the bullet's going through him, instead of like blood or anything like that coming out, you see bats coming out, and it's just a neat way of doing the foreshadowing that this is the moment that Batman is created. Again, if you're interested in the character, plus it's got a great cover, but if you're interested in the character, this is the book to get. This is an awesome origin issue for Clown Hunter. I really enjoyed it. So other than that, there really isn't much to talk about from last week. I picked up an Invader Zim quarterly, the holiday special. It was okay. You know, if you like Invader Zim, it's definitely worth picking up. I mean, the Invader Zim books have been really entertaining from beginning to end. The art changes a little bit from issue to issue, but the story, it's got the same amount of insanity, irreverence, and energy that the show had. So if you're a fan of the series, definitely pick up any of the Invader Zim comic books. The Invader Zim quarterly series is going currently, and just have at it. All right, so the books that I picked up this week, going to be kind of a grab bag of stuff. These first two, these first two I mainly picked up because my son, my 5-year-old, he's a big fan. He really does like the character Miles Morales, and he's also quite taken by the Xenomorph, the character, the alien character from the series Alien and Aliens and Alien Resurrection and all those ones. He likes the character. He likes the Xenomorph, the alien. So when this came out, I showed it to him, and he was geeked about it. He was legit geeked about it, and it was really awesome. So I grabbed this one for my son. This is going to be going in a frame and hanging up on his wall. And when he gets a little bit older and he's able to read, I'll let him read it. We may not understand what's going on in it because the cover has nothing to do with the issue, but whatever, he liked it. He also does like the Venom characters, so I actually grabbed two of these. This one I grabbed one for myself and one for him. This is also going to get framed and hung up on his wall. So those aside, the other books that I picked up this week in no particular order as usual. Thor number 11. Nice cover. Well, you know, I'm just gonna this one here. I'm just gonna say this is probably gonna be my last, if not one of my last issues of this series. This issue was, to me, boring. It felt like a really boring filler issue. So I may talk about it more next week. But you know, this is gonna be likely one of the last issues of Thor that I pick up. I grabbed some variant covers because, despite my disdain for the whole variant concept, I still get dragged, you know, kicking and screaming into buying more of them. But this is from last week, Batman Annual number 5, the Batman 2020 Annual. I loved this cover, so, you know, had to grab that. I just, I don't want to say the relationship, but, you know, I guess you could say the relationship between these two characters and how they're trying to achieve the same goal, but they have very different ways of doing it. Plus, with him being only 17 years old, really makes this dichotomy very interesting between these two characters. So I'm very curious to see where that's going to go. Another variant that I picked up, this was another book from last week or a week ago. The Vengeance one-shot. Now, the Vengeance one-shot, I think this actually did come out last week. So this isn't the cover that I picked up last week. This is the cover that I picked up this week. This was, to me, a fun book, but I'm a fan of 90s Ghost Rider. The Ghost Rider that they've been doing, except for the last one, the Cooter series, everything between the Danny Ketch 90s run and the Cooter run, I really have not been able to get into. I've tried numerous times. The Daniel Way run, nothing about what they've been doing with Ghost Rider has been interesting to me. It's like they're taking it too far from the original core concept, and they're adding all this unnecessary nonsense and diluting and convoluting everything, and I just have not enjoyed it at all. The Robbie Reyes character, I can't even call him Ghost Rider. He drives a car. He's a ghost driver, not a Ghost Rider. But again, my own personal opinion, I'm not a fan. I like the old school Ghost Rider, and this one shot here, it gives you an idea of what's been going on with Vengeance, you know, what Michael has been doing and where he's been. Of course, he's been in hell because he got killed, but you also get some callbacks to the 90s Ghost Rider run with Hellgate, who was introduced in Ghost Rider and became the main nemesis for Vengeance. There's also Skinner, who was introduced during the Rise of the Midnight Suns. He was an offspring of Lilith, who was the whole reason why the Midnight Suns were created in the first place. So you get some awesome callbacks there. if you're a fan of the '90s Ghost Rider run and the fan of the Rise of the Midnight Suns and the Siege of Darkness and the Midnight Massacre and all that fun stuff we had back in the day, this is definitely going to be a one shot for you, especially if you did enjoy the character Vengeance. But if you're, how do I put this? If you're going in cold, if you're not familiar with this character and you're really not familiar with the '90s Ghost Rider series, this is not going to have a whole lot for you. Sad to say. This is fan service is the best way to describe it. So if you're a fan, this is going to be right up your alley. If you're not a fan, you might enjoy it, and I would hope that you would try it and enjoy it, but I'll tell you right now, there's a good chance you might not get as much out of it as you would if you were a fan. So, but it's got some great covers. This is my second of like 4 or 5 covers that I'm grabbing for it. Moving on, it's the facsimile edition. I'm so glad they're still doing this, although I haven't seen any true believers in the solicits for the next month or two, and not a whole lot of these facsimiles. So I'm hoping that they're going to continue doing them. Maybe not at the frequency that they had been, but I hope they continue with them. But this will be, I believe, the first appearance of Falcon. That is cool. Continuing with Knock 'em Dead, I grabbed issue 2. First issue was interesting, but didn't really give me enough to know if I was going to enjoy the series or not. So we'll talk about this one next week. And finally, I don't even know why I grabbed this one. Just an extra box to sort of pad my collection, I guess, or an extra book to pad my collection. This is the Eternals Never Die, Never Win behind the scenes preview edition of the Eternals book that I don't think anybody's really talking about at all. I'm not that interested in the Eternals. I wasn't that interested in the Inhumans, so I'll flip through this and see what's what, and go on from there. So, but that's it. Those are some of the books I picked up last week. Those are the books I picked up this week. I got to get some variant covers for my little boy. So that's that. So, before I wrap this up, about the thing that I mentioned earlier that might be changing things. So, I work at Family Video. I've been there for almost 12 years, and this past Monday, we got the announcement, and the company made the announcement to the public on Tuesday that the whole chain is shutting down. So my job, my place of employment, my sort of home away from home for the past 12 years is going to be no more within the next month and a half or so. So it's really rough. On Tuesday was the last day that we rented, and I was closing that day, as I usually close. So I rented out the last movie that my family video store will ever rent out. So it's really, really rough. It's kind of an emotional thing. I know it might sound weird to people, but I mean that's been my store for very, like I said, almost 12 years. So to be at this point, which we knew, I mean, I'm not kidding myself. We all knew that the shelf life of the video rental store was very finite. There was an expiration date on it. We just didn't know what it was. We were not expecting it to happen this soon, but with pandemic happening, we didn't get as many people coming back as we had hoped. So things just didn't pan out for us, and so doors are shutting down. So what this means is I'm going to have to find a new source of income. I'm going to have to find new gainful employment. So that may mean that my schedule, which right now I've been able to get my Wednesdays off, so I can get my comic books and I can do my video and have it posted on Thursday. That may change. If I reach a point where I don't have enough money to get all my comics, I mean, I do have an arrangement with my LCS. So, but if I go beyond our arrangement and I'm unable to get my books, then I'm not going to have books to talk about, new books anyway. So I'm going to do my best to maintain this. It is my hope that there will be no hiccups in my scheduling as far as posting my videos here. But if that happens, I want you all to understand why. It's not because I'm losing interest. It's because real world situations have impacted my comics collecting. So be that as it may, I do still greatly appreciate all of my subscribers, everybody who's subscribed, who's followed me, who has commented and liked and shared my videos. Thank you very much for all of your support, and I look forward to living up to the standard that will that you have for me, so that you will continue to support me. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you for all your support. And that's it. So we're going to wrap this one up. I will see you guys next week. Oh, side note, I did do a video at my store on Tuesday night after we closed, because it was going to be the last night that our store was full of movies. So I did do a video. It's kind of hard for me to do, walking around my store, talking about things as far as my feelings about everything. I do have it. I'm not sure if I'm going to post it on YouTube. If there is any kind of interest in it, I will. But I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So we'll see. But that said, sorry to end it on a downer. But anyway, thank you everybody for your support. Again, like, subscribe, comment, share, do all that fun stuff. And I will see you guys next week with a whole new batch of comic books. And oddly enough, another Ghost Rider Vengeance variant cover. Have a good weekend.